Hello everybody. Let's continue with our refactoring of the clojure example of the trivia refactoring exercise in clojure. The aim of the exercise, which I've created for myself, is to add a back button, to add a function which goes back in the game state. Let's see how much further we can get, how much further we can come today. Just to check we haven't broken anything. It still works, yes. We were quite a way towards getting rid of the players atom here. Let's see where it's still being used. Not there, not there. Here we are. We have a function for this. How many players is a function which would tell you how many players there are. Let's do that here as well. There's a count players here. Let's get rid of that. Let's see if I broke anything. I might well have done. Looks okay, which means I think that I can now get rid of players. Yes, it looks good. Yes, players has now gone. See if it still runs. Yes, and it hasn't changed anything. Good. So now we've moved one of the atoms up into a larger state atom which contains everything that we need. Next thing to do maybe would be to move places or purses up to that. Let's see. So if we add a player, we're now going to add not just a name, we're going to add a place, which is going to start place, which starts at 0. Let's see where places is used. Oh, it's used here in current category. Well, the current category could well just take a place and return a string, couldn't it? It says let it take a place. Where is this being used? It's being used here, 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 here. Well, let's get the place then here. Let place equal to its nth of places. We can copy it from the from this example above here, and then we can say let category is equal to current category place, and we shouldn't have changed anything at this stage apart from here we've added place. So rather than using current category here, we can now replace it with cat. I'm doing a number of refactorings at the same time here, which is not good form, but I still pretty much know what's going on. I think then we have current category being used somewhere else. Here it's used twice, and it takes the place as an argument. So let's just put the place in here. It's nth of places current player, which of course isn't very nice, but it's just a stepping stone to where we want to go. Let's see if current category is used anywhere else. No, it isn't. It always has an argument, and the argument is always the current place. Let's see if I broke something. Yes, I did. I didn't close a bracket somewhere. That one's okay. That one isn't. Okay, let's run this again. There's still something which I managed to break. Too many refactorings at once. Yes, I didn't close the let there. Does it still run, or did I totally break everything? No, it's okay. Good. Now, the value of place that we get in here should now be usable instead of getting the place again here. It should be the same value. So what we can now do is make a case statement. This is another one, it's rather like a switch. Clojure has two of these out of the box, and of course, being a Lisp, you can make your own if you want to. What this one does is it says switch on the value of place, and if it's in the value of 048, then return pop, 159 return science, etc. There's a con statement you can see here as well, which takes something which are values to true or false, and if it's true, it returns that, and if it's false, it goes to the next statement. That's how cond works. In cases similar where you just want to match against something. Let's see if I broke something. Well, I didn't break it at least, and it seems to work the same. That's good. So if we are getting the current category here, we might as well push the current category to the next question. And at this point we may think, well, there's a lot of duplicated code here anyway. This whole swap to ask question, this stuff is the same as this stuff. So let's take all of that out and call it turn, which is going to have to take a role as an argument at the moment. Later we may want to give it something else. Oops. Okay, that's the right. Does this taking anything, yes, it's got a name here as well, which it needs, but that's all it needs. So let's define the name here. Just copy this from below. Okay, and then we can shut that off here, indent some stuff so it looks nice. Does this still compile, or is it something wrong with the syntax? It's okay. Now we should be able to just do here turn roll and shut that off too. And then this one is also just turn roll. We don't need to put this in a do because it's there's now just one instruction. I should maybe explain that, how that works, but let's see if it does work before I explain how it works. If I've broken something, it works. So let's go to my cider. An if expression in Clojure takes something which evaluates to either true or false. In this case it evaluates to true, quite trivially, and if it's true it performs this, and if it's false it does what is here. So in this case it will return 2 or 1. Let's say you want to do many things in the first block, then you would need to have a do, and then you can do your print line hello and return 2. Otherwise, if you put two expressions after each other, it will think one of them is going to be the if true and the other one is going to be the if false. That's why you need do here. It just makes blocks of expressions. Okay, that seems to be better. We have now we can carry on with our refactoring. What I wanted to do was give the category to the asked question. So I'd like that to have a category. And then let's do some more lets here. Let's take a location, nth places current player, and then we have category is current category at location. So current category is maybe not the best name for that anymore. That's a location here. and this is category. And now we can just apply our category to ask question. I think that's the only usage of ask question. Let's see if I broke something. It's happy. So now we can just use the category here, and we don't need to get it through this let statement. And that's going to tidy up that code a little bit. Good. What was the next thing we were looking at doing? Places. We just added places to the player. Where is places used now? Not a lot of places. It's used here in this block, and that's about it. This is how we're modifying the place. So this basically means advanced player, this block here. Let's put this somewhere else. Let's make a function, defn advanced player, and it's going to take a role. And it's going to do that at the moment. So now we should be able to just write advanced player role here. Get rid of that. Let's see if this works, or if I broke something. That still works. And then we're just getting the place here. So the only two things we have to change now is this function advanced player and this instance of where it gets the place. Well, where it gets the place is easy enough. That's a get in state, and we know it's players, the index of the current player and their place. So that's going to get the location. Now we're just going to update it here. So we do a swap in state. We do an update in of players, current player place. This takes the old place value. Let's do a quick function, next place, which takes a place and a role, and what it returns is remainder of plus place role 12, and then we can just do that basically, and that should do it. Let's see if I got that right, or did I get something very wrong? No, it's not happy with that. Update in. Oh yes, got the brackets wrong. And that needs next place. Oh, dear me, lots of mistakes. Does it work now? Yes, it does. Yes, it's one more of these lines which needs to be read very carefully. If I wrote it out in full, what we'll be doing is we're going to be doing a reset on state. And what we're doing is we are doing update in state at the place players current player place. So that's the path we're going to update in the thing pointed at by state. And how we're going to do it, we're taking the old place and then we're running next place function on old place with role. That would be, I think that's correct. Yes, that is this line here written out in full, if you wish. That's the function there. Good. Let's make that 2 lines as well. Okay. And the short form for that is that here. Okay. Good. Let's get rid of this. Good. Now we've managed to get rid of place, I think, or places. It only exists here where it's defined and where it's initialized. I'm sorry. Get rid of that. See if I broke something. No, I didn't. The next thing to change would be purses. Let's see how many mentions of purse there are. That's it, basically. Yep. This is a update. This is a pay player method. Let's make something called pay player. And we're going to take nothing as an argument. And all we have to do is a swap on state using update in on players current player purse, and we're just going to increment it, and that's how we're paying the player. And then did player win? We'll have to change that as well shortly. Let's see to check they didn't break anything here. Good. Did player win and pay player? Those are the two things we need to change. So and that's where we get the money for the current player, and there are two of those. Okay, good. Well, let's do these refactorings at the same time then. At one point we have to pay player here. That's that line. And the same thing is here. That's that line. Then we have to print out what they have, how much money they now have. So we need to get it. And we get it by saying get in state players current player purse is that correct? Yes, that looks correct, and that's going on here as well. So get in state players current player purse. That needs be a key. Okay, and then we just have to did player win by doing the same thing. Get in state players current player purse not equal 6. Yes. Let's see if I got this right, or if I managed to break something. No, I broke something. What this usually means is that I've missed out I can't see the problem at the moment. Purse. Yes, I've managed to break it somehow. This looks okay. Get in state, players current player purse. I've put the dereferencing in. It's line 79 where it's unhappy. Pay player. It's unhappy with this line here. I wonder why. It looks okay. So we're swapping state by taking the update in function of the contents at players current player purse. This looks okay, and we are passing it through increment. What happens if I get rid of this? Is it just getting very long, the output? No, it's not. It's unhappy here with answer was current. Pay player. This seems to be where it's going wrong with the first correct answer. Players current player purse. Oh, I didn't add a purse. here. Let's see if this now runs. Yes, that looks better. Well, I can't complain if that didn't work. Yes, okay. Well, that's got rid of purses, I think. Yes. Let's take a break and carry on with the next later. Many thanks.